Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Feels like it's been a while, honestly.
Yeah.
Welcome to Midnight Hatter Live, the weekly variety show where we talk Gundam, gaming, and Gunpla. I am your host, Stephen Bayless, aka Midnight Hatter, and joining me this week, Adam Blue, the Gundam explainer, Blue Gamer. How are you, man?
Doing good, yeah. Last week, yeah, I missed out. We had talked about all that, but, doing the game design stuff, I'm totally into that. Because you got me onto Thomas Brush, and, he's been doing his YouTube series where he's showing, like, how to make a Breath of the Wild like, and it's, like, showing him how he's using, AI to help support what he's doing, but even
Yeah,
though he's using AI, you have to be the game dev to know how to and so that's the same thing, like, when we were doing your modeling the other day, how you
exactly.
still have to know how to use the program, what needs to be manipulated, how to describe that.
Yeah, I really do think that AI tools can help somebody who's already proficient at a particular task become more efficient at that task, but it's not going to take somebody who's an amateur and turn them into an expert.
Mm,
And Thomas Brush was in the videos and the live streams, the live workshops that he's been doing lately, he'll have like I don't know if it's Claude or Copilot, but he has one of the AI code generators up with him while he's scripting his game. And one of the things he even said is he was like, "Look, this isn't like a moral, you know." He's like, "I'm not telling you to use AI. I'm not telling you not to use AI." He's like, "This is what I'm doing because what I'm really good at is the art, the animation, the game assets. I'm not so good at the programming. So the AI helps supplement the things that I'm not so good at so that I can focus on the things that I'm good at." I was like, "You know what?
yeah.
That's fair."
Yeah, and that reminds me of any sort of auteur in their field. Like, even if I mean, like, there's so many things maybe that single individual can say in a story or in a piece of art, but there could be certain aspects of it that requires a skill set they don't have. And
Right.
this allows people to really n get that, they can get to that next step. What's the one thing they're missing? And they have this little co-pilot, and that can kinda help, guide them along the way.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't lead to, like, chatbot psychosis
Oh,
or
yeah,
anything
I
like
know.
that.
It's fun
Um,
and that could be its own genre in itself. Videos or sort of like creepypasta, but this is like, here's AI, psychosis stories. But it's
yeah.
it's like, the creepypasta fad, and it's kinda like but
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I wonder if we won't see a Wendigoon video about it, in 10 years. Um
Wendigoon, don't know Wendigoon. Is it
Oh, yeah,
like
Wendigoon's
Wendigo?
great, man.
Oh,
Like, conspiracy theories slash, like, cryptids and stuff, like I mean, stuff that I think you'd be into, and he gives that,
cool.
like, drunk uncle vibe about, you know, like, how he tells the stories, so very cool stuff.
Wow. Yeah, 4,500,000. You gotta say there's something
Somebody
there.
he's gotta be doing something right.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for telling me.
Of course, yeah, oh, ooh, I shouted out the guy that's got 4,000,000 subscribers, I must be into need. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Um,
what's interesting though that you say that is it is surprising how many I think we were used to at first when a channel reached 1,000,000 subscribers, it's like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." But
right.
there's so many multi-million, you know, y YouTube channels now that it's almost like you can bring something up and then people can be like, "Whoa, I didn't hear that." Oh, if they have this many, it must be good because there's just so much content out there that I
Right.
really feel like you can use that as a metric now. Um, so
Yeah, I mean, and we are spoiled for choices, which is
yeah.
why I'm thankful that you guys are here with us. Ultronymous, Alan Mitchell, Dan Vince, good to see you guys in chat. Actually, big shout out to Dan Vince because he heavily inspired tonight's topic. We are going to take a break from the game dev stuff. I'm sorry, it's like Adam comes back and now it's like, oh, I don't want to do game stuff. But no, like, honestly, I think this is gonna be a fun topic because Dan Vince is the one that cracked me up not too long ago. Longtime friend and supporter of the channel. We were talking about, like, D&D characters, and in particular, like, level 1 characters, and how there's almost like a meme of when new D&D characters come to the table, they come to you with this level 1 character that's got a 25-year backstory talking about "Well, I was once a servant of the king until I was betrayed," and blah, 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 and has, like, all of this lore behind them, and it's like, "No, no, no. Dude, this is level 1 campaign. The lore is what's in front of you, not behind you. Like,
Mm,
you're not the grizzled old veteran yet." And so Dan said, yeah, the ideal level 1 character in a role-playing game is a 19-year-old with a love interest and low ASVAB scores. So with that in mind, we're gonna do some ASVAB tests tonight. Hopefully, we'll get
okay.
through more than one, but the idea is so, Adam, did you ever have to take the ASVAB test?
You know what? I do not remember this at all.
Really?
Maybe I did, and I just that's how much I didn't care about tests back in high school.
So, I
Really?
remember vividly taking this in high school, and it
Okay.
was what's weird is how deceptive it was because they made it seem like it was a career placement test, like, "Oh, this is gonna identify for you what career you're best suited for," but really what it is it's a recruiter test. They give it to they give it to people that are
Oh,
joining the military to see, like, what field they're best suited to based on the answers that they give, and so with that in mind, I think that it would be so much fun to, with the best of our ability, try and take an ASVAB test as Gundam characters. Primarily,
I
we're
like
gonna
it.
start with Amuro Ray because
Okay.
obviously the number 1, and then we'll try to branch out if we can, if there's time, to other Gundam protagonists and see where they would place if they were actually in the military, because let's face it, a 15-year-old kid would probably not be given access to the billion-dollar, military
Yeah.
apparatus that is the Gundam.
And, just quickly thinking, like, if we were to do it for Amuro, Camille, and Judo, just top of my mind, I'm like, wow, they are kind of different characters. That those could be different answers, which is pretty neat considering
Very
they're
different.
it's kind of a tropey concept of the teenager getting the mobile suit, but they are
Right,
different characters.
exactly. And so, yeah, we're gonna do our best, and chat, please hop in and, help us answer these questions. So this is like a practice test that is, here, actually, let me hop into screen share mode here so we can see what we've got here. So I found this test from the National Guard. So it is a legit test from the Army. It's a practice version, so it's only 24 questions. Hopefully, that means we're going to be able to fly through it pretty quickly. I actually, full disclosure, I took it earlier as
Yeah.
myself, and I didn't even know the answer to some of these questions. So, you know,
Okay.
I was pretty proud, of course, that one of the placements I got was in aviation. So I was like, all right, at
That's
least
cool.
I'm not in the motor pool. I'm not like, meat grinder. I get a little bit. So
Get
so
it
we're
get
gonna
to be an
see
ace.
what division Amuro Ray gets put into here. And just for backup, in case there's something that like Adam and I don't know, we do have ChatGPT on hold. What and you know what? Like
Yeah.
you guys tell me, would you rather use like ChatGPT or would you rather use Grok to
Oh. Why not all? I wonder if there's an AI out there that you put in one question and then it breaks it out into 4 different like, you know how ChatGPT does that? I prefer this response, but it would be like 4 different
now
AI.
that would be awesome because obviously it would give us a lot more flexibility around what we're doing. And it's like just pick the model you want to use.
Yeah.
So, what we are going to be doing here is we're going to take this test as Amuro Ray. Let's get started. Unless there's anything else that I'm thinking of. Obviously, if you guys hadn't checked it out, speaking of Amuro Ray,
Oh,
Adam, you
yeah.
reviewed an Amuro Ray GMG action figure this morning over on Gundam Explained. So check that out
Yep.
after you guys are done watching the stream tonight because it's so cool that these figures exist,
I
honestly,
know.
like,
They shouldn't.
it's so much better than the SH Figure Arts line
Yeah.
as far as figures go,
Yeah. No, I agree. So many accessories. Yeah. It's awesome.
but yeah, I do wanna get into this as soon as possible. I'm not even gonna get into any G Generation Eternal stuff, despite the
Oh.
fact that we had that cool G Generation Eternal intro, which, by the way,
Oh, yeah, I
next
saw
week,
that.
guys, we are going to have even more units maxed out because your boy Hatter here has been very hard at work ever since the Gundam Igloo event dropped. So,
Oh, sick. Okay.
all right. So you got Amuro is on screen. ASVAB test is ready to go. Let's hit start in just 24 questions. We'll get a preview of what the ASVAB is like. I don't actually know what ASVAB stands for. I think it's like aptitude
Yeah,
service.
I had just looked it up, um, because I hadn't heard of it before. Yeah,
Like I said, I thought it was hilarious that they phrased this as like a career placement thing, but it was really just recruiters trying to get us in high school to
yeah,
now
well,
fortunately it's not timed, so we're not gonna be like,
okay.
um, you know, punished for taking too long to answer a question.
Wow, that's
Oh
crazy.
man, this is a serious one.
Yeah.
So, comparable to the decline of the great Mayan culture, the fall of the ancient Indus Valley people yields interesting information about their daily lives. It seems that this civilization is the oldest recorded civilization in India, yet many of their practices seem advanced. For example, there's evidence of careful and creative design of bathroom facilities, including sewage disposal. Could have fooled me. What is evident about other ancient societies seems to be missing from the Indus Valley one, namely social conflict, slavery, armed forces, and various vices. The cause of their sudden demise is a mystery. According to this passage, what is the oldest known civilization in India? Well,
Is it uh, is it supposed to be that easy? Is it a trick question?
it does feel like a trick question. I feel like, Norm Macdonald when he was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he's like, "Oh, if I say it's either B or D, there's not like a guy in the back that's gonna say it's either B or D." Um, so I feel like as Amuro Ray, would Amuro Ray take the time to read the paragraph and understand its contents, or would he just
Well, I feel like if he does seem like the one that would take it seriously and take the test.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something him and Camille share.
they are test takers.
Yeah.
Oh, so shout out, Dan Vince in chat says it's the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery.
So,
So obviously there are only 2, like, possible answers to this, which Indus Valley people is the answer. But if you were lazy, you would say Mayan because the first culture that's mentioned is the Mayan culture, right?
yeah.
So that's the trip up. Like, if you were lazy and you're, like, a dummy, you would say, "Oh, yep, it's about Mayan
So
people."
they're figuring that out here.
Yeah. They're trying to screen out the lazy people.
Yeah, this is
So,
what some resume or when you turn your resume, some what recruiters probably do. Screen certain aspects out, you know?
honestly, I would take an ASVAB over filling out, LinkedIn resumes for sure.
Yeah.
So, l Amuro's gonna go with the correct answer, Indus Valley people.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 2, word knowledge. The substance of their argument was trivial. Answers, of course, being sinister, inconsequential, sad, or demanding.
I think B.
Now, so this is one I know, like
Oh,
inconsequential, easy, right? Like
yeah.
trivial, inconsequential. It's a simple thesaurus question, right? However, do we think that Amuro has a large vocabulary, or is he more mechanically and technically inclined?
No, I see what you're saying, but I do think he would know.
You think he'd know this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or unless I would just be disappointed if he didn't. I'd be like, "Amaro, come on."
Come on, Amuro. Um, okay,
Oh,
so here's a tricky one, all right? So what is the area of the following triangle? We've got an 8-foot long and a 4-foot long. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Ooh, let's see. So the length of the longest one is gonna be
I mean, is it B? I don't know.
so this is a tricky one because for me, I would ooh, how would you calculate the area of a well, so the way I would calculate the area is by calculating the full area and then dividing it in half. So 4 times 8 would be 32 divided in half, right? Because the area would be, You see where I'm going? Where like you make a rectangle and then you cut
Oh,
it in
okay,
half
I
into
see.
a triangle.
I think I was taught this and I just didn't pay attention.
So the answer is 16,
Okay.
I think. Chat, correct us if I'm wrong. But the answer is 16. Do we think that Amuro knows geometry?
You know what? I would think he does. I wouldn't be mad if he didn't, but I would probably ask him, "Hey, what is this?"
So Dan says Amuro was a mecha nerd. He'd get this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, am I right? It is 16 foot squared, right?
Let's see.
Let's see.
1941
I'm
said
just gonna double check it.
correct. Uh,
Oh,
unless that's
you
for
checked
something.
it for me?
No, Dan Vince was saying correct, unless that was something else.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
shouldn't I feel like I should know this, but we don't have to. This almost proves what I haven't had to use. I mean,
All
yeah.
right, so this is mathematics knowledge again. Which of the following is an equilateral triangle? A,
Oh,
B, C, or D? Well, it's definitely not C, right, guys? We know what the answer would be. I feel like if Amuro got the answer to the last one, he'd get this one too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, another paragraph comprehension one. So
Okay.
shout out to the writers, Ultronymous, Dan Vince, Alan Mitchell. You guys are in chat. You know who you are. In Africa, there lives an interesting tribe of people, the Pygmies. They make their home in what used to be called Zaire, but is now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Pygmies are nomadic, wandering around hunting, procuring their own food. They have light colored skin and a yellowish brown shade and can be found in the rainforests of the Philippines and India. The word nomadic, as used in the passage, most nearly means either A, aggressive, B, uneducated, C, migratory, or D, barbarian.
I would think C.
Yeah, I would be surprised if a colonist wouldn't know what the word nomad means.
Oh, yeah. Very, very well put. I agree that, Amuro would understand that.
At this point, I feel like we're just taking
I know, right? Like, really, I'm thinking, is
the
that
collective
right?
knowledge.
This is live. No.
Ooh, no respect. Um, okay, electronics. This is
Oh, you got
you
this.
know he'd get this one. If you need
Yep.
to reduce the voltage of a certain part of a circuit, you could use an A capacitor, B transistor, C resistor, or D inductor.
Let me try because I don't know.
Oh, I'm
If you
sorry.
don't if you oh, did you
I
okay, I
clicked
was gonna
once.
say C resist, reduce.
Maybe
Okay. What is it?
it is C
You
resist.
Oh, okay. Because I know you talk about the stuff, and when I've been putting the LED stuff together, I'm always, like, reading about, okay, how I can evenly get this across, to the
Exactly.
battery.
Resistors are very important when it comes to that because
Yeah,
obviously most lights don't require the high voltage that a battery provides.
right, yeah. Yeah,
Ooh,
okay.
this is a good one. Auto and shop information. I don't know if this would be right up Amuro's alley, but plywood is better than regular wood for a subfloor mainly because A, it is more weatherproof, B, it is lighter, C, it is thinner, or D, it is stronger.
I'm going to, give a thought here before we answer.
Okay.
Or actually, no, let's answer it first, and then I'm gonna give the thought. I don't
Well,
know. That's
well, it's interesting because in some like a couple of these are correct. I don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that plywood is stronger per se.
yeah.
It is definitely thinner than wood. Uh, so well, again, here let's put this one to AI just
Yeah,
because. Okay,
so while
just
we're
just
doing that, I wanna bring up, like, I have a theory, and it's something I've been thinking about recently, but it could be by the time of Amuro Ray, woodworking is almost like a lost art.
that's a very good point. And Ultronymous shouts it out in chat. I don't think he'd know. I feel like wood isn't super common in
Oh,
the colonies.
that's cool. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at, and not that it's just more if they didn't need to know how to use it anymore. And that was this whole thing there's this background journey of Adam and pyramid building, as I talk about in videos. I'm now starting to think, it's more about lost ways of doing things because it's not needed anymore. It's
Right.
um,
And, there's it's kind of, like, sad that that's the case, that there is,
yeah,
like, lost knowledge. You know,
it's almost like it has to happen. There's just a part of the evolution of technology. Um,
so it's weatherproof. What are the other ones?
Stronger,
Lighter, thinner,
lighter,
or
and bigger.
stronger?
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, you really go into detail. That's probably why your AI is on point because that's what it takes. You really have to take your time typing with these prompts if you want to get solid info.
Exactly.
Um,
Alright,
yeah,
let's see what we got
that's
here.
that's good.
Fun question and very Amuro. The objectively correct ASVAB answer is that it's stronger. Wow, so that's opposite of what I thought.
Okay.
Plywood is better than regular wood because it is cross-laminated layers of wood, making it stronger and dimensionally stable, resists warping and splitting. Cool. What Amuro Ray would think, as someone who grew up inside Seven, a space colony with no rain, no ground moisture, no seasonal humidity swings, and strict mass and material efficiency, weatherproofing is irrelevant. Thinner isn't the core reason either. If he actually stops to think, engineering brain kicks in. Closed environment, artificial gravity, something that distributes the load evenly and doesn't deform over time. He says stronger.
Well, that is assuming he would even know what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what if there's no reason to know what plywood is?
So, okay, so here's the final breakdown. ASVAB is stronger. Amuro Ray, if he thinks it through, is stronger. But 15-year-old side 7 Amuro would say it's
Oh,
lighter.
huh. Weird that they have the two different.
That's why I put in that distinction, right?
Hmm,
So what do
interesting.
you guys think? Is it stronger or lighter? Are we going to intentionally make Amuro fail this ASVAB?
I think he should fail this, or I mean, this question. I think he
This
should miss this
particular
question.
question, because it's not
Yeah.
mechanical, it's not
Right.
electrical, it's not something that he's particularly familiar with, but it's something that's he would reasonably assume, yeah, it's lighter.
Yeah. Good call on that. That prompt worked
I'm
magic.
glad that we took that one to AI because I wouldn't have
Yeah. It
come
was
to that
interesting.
conclusion.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
which of the following is not an example of a fruit? Raspberries, sunflower seeds, corn, or potato?
Wait. Now I'm confused.
All right.
Um. Um. Am I reading the question right? Which is not an example of a
Which one is
fruit?
not a fruit?
I would think all three.
Well, so it's kind of a trick question, right? Because fruiting bodies, the definition of a
Oh.
fruiting body is that the seed is inside the fruit, as opposed to like a vegetable where the seed is outside the fruit, right? Uh,
So it'd be
so
potato.
I'm thinking it's potato.
That's pretty good, yeah, because the potato's the only root, food that's here or whatever they call those. But I do think not only do I think Amro would know that, but I would also think that's very important in a colony, like, sort of baseline food agriculture.
Right. You would hope that you know exactly what to eat in space. I mean, sunflower seeds is kind of obviously not a fruit because it is a seed, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's okay.
Oh, shout out Ultra on this. I thought fruit grow from trees and vegetables from the ground. Strawberries grow on the ground, and they are fruits.
Oh, okay. That's another one.
So you and I got this one right. The technically correct answer is potato, because
Okay.
botanically speaking, raspberries are aggregate fruits. Corn is a grain, but still technically a fruit.
Wow.
Sunflower seeds are seeds from a flower's ovary, therefore fruit derived, and potatoes are tubers, which is a root.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what Dan Vin said. So the correct answer is potato. But what would Amuro say? Amuro's
Yeah.
strength is pattern recognition and systems thinking, so he's autistic. No.
Oh, yeah.
Um, if he pauses and actually categorizes which one doesn't come from a flower or ovary and which one is a storage organ instead of a reproductive, he gets there. So, potato. But what would 15-year-old space colonist Amuro say? Raspberries, fruit, easy. Corn, food, weird, grows on a plant. Sunflowers, seeds, but you eat them. Potato, vegetable. And the question says fruit, not the plant part. So colonist Amaro answers potato, not for the right reasons, mind you, but he
Yeah, but
does
I
get he gets
almost a
there.
logical familiarity with agriculture sort of, because I do think there would be a bit of that. I bet there's classes of agriculture. Um,
That would be an interesting one for sure. Um, ooh,
okay.
arithmetic reasoning. A barista averages making 16 coffees an hour. At this rate, how many hours will it take until she's made 1,200 coffees?
Okay, so that's a math one. It could be any one of those because 'cause they're very close in number.
Well, so the way I always do these kinds of ones is like, okay, so 100 hours would be 1,600 coffees. So then we only need to back out 600 of those coffees. Um, So, like, how many hours less than 100 are we gonna go? It's definitely not 65. Um, it's either 80 or 75. I'm thinking 75. But
Let's
this
ask
one I
someone
might take
smarter
to
than me.
AI just to make sure, because
Yeah.
I don't wanna screw this one up. Okay.
Let's
And
see.
then how many hours was it? 70, 65, 80, or 75? Alright.
Okay.
Another great one. This is an absolutely Amuro question. Uh, see, I knew it was either 80 or 75, and I was leaning towards 75, but 75
That's
is not an option. What?
interesting.
Wait. Oh, I might have. Oops, I messed that up. That's my bad.
Oh. What'd you mess up? I guess I missed it.
I put in 85 instead of
Oh, okay. I come across that a lot where I'll realize, "Wait a minute, AI, I made the mistake." It's
exactly.
like, finally, you're recognizing it.
Idiot. That changes everything and makes this a very Amuro moment. No worries at all. So 75 is the correct answer. No estimation needed. Clean, exact. What Amuro would answer? Amuro does the math, sees that it comes out evenly, easily relaxes. What 15-year-old space colonist Amuro would answer? He starts approximating. So, that's what I did, right? Gets annoyed
Yeah.
halfway through, realizes the division is exact. So he gets to 75 no matter what.
Yeah, I believe that.
I would be very surprised if he didn't get a math question. Oh, he's getting this one, right? So a knife blade is an example of which kind of simple machine? A pulley, a wheel and axle, an inclined plane, or a gear?
Yeah, I'm guessing inclined plane, none of those really look like a knife.
technically, it's a wedge, but, like, inclined plane. That's the idea is that the way a knife works is by forcing a single point through, it spreads the
I see, that's okay, I never really thought of it that specific, but it's real.
again, I've always heard it called wedge, not an inclined plane, so
Mhm.
this part's confusing to me, but, like, it's definitely not a gear, which is interlocking, mechanisms. A wheel and axle would be like, rotating thing on like, on a pivot point,
Right.
and then a pulley, obviously, is the rope that goes over a wheel in order to lift things up and down. So a
You'd be a
knife
good
is
mime, by the way.
Wait,
Just
milking the cow. No.
That's
Alright, math reasoning. Julie gives 7 pieces of candy to her friends. If Julie gives all of her candy away, which amount of candy could have been the amount she distributed?
okay.
So
Hmm.
7 pieces to each of her friends, meaning that this has to be divisible by 7.
Oh, okay, there you go, there's some that's some Amuro thinking right there.
I think so. What would be divisible by 7? I think 128 is not. It's either 162 or 161. I feel like one of these is put in here to trip you up. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna embarrass myself by trying to figure this out on stream. Which number is divisible by 7? Um, so 162, 161. Ah, thank you, Dan. It is
Oh, there we
161.
go.
See, I've always been good at test taking because when you look at the answers, you can identify which ones are the gotcha.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's even with that, I'm not good. No, I am. Someone said something recently. It's like, I wonder if you're there's type of people that would say, "Oh, I'm not good at tests," and I was like, no, 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 because there's just an affirmation. You just don't need to say that.
Yeah.
You just might sometimes fail a test. It happens. That's the point. But I think people saying that a lot.
Affirmation of how dumb you are.
Yeah. But I think it's so easy for people to just say, "Oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, this happens all the time. Oh, I always do this." And it's like, well, don't let it be.
And hey, the late great Bruce Lee once said that, self-talk is you can mess yourself up with self-talk because if you tell yourself how poor you are all the time, you will become that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right. Bruce Lee.
but see, yeah, shout out to Dan Vince because this is where the rubber meets the road, right? Is divisible by 7. We know that 140 would be 20 times 7 because 2 times 7, 14, 20 times 7, 140, plus 21, which is 3 times 7. So it's breaking down the large numbers into smaller numbers that you can work with, and that's how you do this type of
Okay.
math in your head.
I see. Multiple steps.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good at those visuals in my head about certain things. Numbers, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Numbers are too they're not abstract enough. They're too literal that I can't really picture it. Did I
Mm.
just make up an excuse like we were just talking about?
Copium.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one he would get. An electronics question. 1
Yeah.
hertz is defined as 1 amp per second, 1 volt per second, 1 cycle per second, or 1 coulomb per second.
I
Honestly, I don't
don't
even know
know.
this.
I'm just gonna guess cycle.
Uh, this one I'm going to this is Amuro coded. 1 cycle per second. Good
Oh,
shout out. Look
okay.
at you.
Okay, I was thinking in terms of waves.
Y Exactly. So,
Mm,
definitely, I don't think he's missing this one, like,
that's cool.
regardless. So, he's getting the right answer.
Nice.
Which of the following can hold the most moisture? Cold air, moving air, stable air, or warm air?
Oh, that's interesting. For stable air, wouldn't that depend? And
I'm
then Because it would just distribute evenly? I don't
So
know.
I'm thinking that
Maybe.
it's warm air because obviously the more
Right,
space between molecules, because cold air contracts, right?
right.
Warm
Mhm.
air spreads out, therefore you have more room in between to have hydrogen
Right.
molecules distributed. But at the same time, moving air is an X factor for me. Is like
Yeah,
if you
I
continuously move the air, is it possible to store more moisture in it?
right.
Oh, this one might be. I'm taking this one to the Chat GPT. If Chat doesn't know the answer, and
Yeah,
again, this is another one that I don't know if Amuro would know the answer.
right. In fact, like, I have questions about the air, like, for each individual air piece. It's like, well, is this in an enclosed room? Is this out in the open? What part of the country? What part of the world? What colony?
What is the airspeed of a native swallow? European or an African swallow? Uh,
And then who knows how air is taught in, colonies, because that's a whole different system.
that's true. They don't have a conception of non-recycled air.
Right.
Look at this. Boom. I was right. Warm air can hold more water because higher temperatures increase the amount of energy available for water molecules. Cool. So then what does Amuro say?
You would know that.
Moisture equals water vapor. Vapor pressure increases with temp. Holding capacity. Amuro's answer, warm air. Colonist Amuro's answer is tempted by stable air
Oh.
because stagnant air feels more humid even though it doesn't actually hold more moisture. But if he remembers a textbook line or hears Brighton in his head telling him to focus, well, we're not talking about Bright on this one. So either way, he is going to go with warm air. He is going to go with the right
Cool.
answer.
And I
Amuro,
feel
you're
like
such
that's
a
a
smart
basic
kid.
one they even taught. That one I think is a basic one they've taught even since, like, elementary school.
Well, the way I always remember these types of things is, and this goes back to my like seventh grade science teacher, is he had this little rhyme where it was like high to low, where does it go?
Oh, that's
So
cool.
in high and low pressure systems in weather, high pressure systems flow into low pressure systems. You never have a low pressure system flow into high pressure systems. The reason that we get lightning is because you have high
Right.
electrical current flowing into low electrical current systems. So it's like the high is always going to flow into the low and never backwards.
Yeah.
This one has a broken image, so we have an issue here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can
Yeah.
reload the image without reloading the
Turn
entire.
left, from left to right. What is
Oh no, it reloaded the entire thing. Oh, please don't do this. Oh no.
Oh.
I just wanted to reload the image.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
What do we do? Do we
Ah.
just go through really quick?
Let's just bang through it really quick because
Okay.
honestly, he had gotten every single one. I think the
Yeah.
only one that we didn't let him get was the
The plywood.
plywood, yeah.
Yeah.
So if a plant goes through photosynthesis, one of the byproducts is he would know that this is oxygen, right?
Yeah.
Because the only way to produce oxygen on the colonies is through using plants. Paragraph comprehension. The American flag began with the flag created in 1777 until 1795. Congress ordered with the passage of the act that a new flag be composed of 15 alternating red and white stripes containing a blue field with 15 stars. Another change was made by Congress in 1818. The addition of the flag was to alternate to only 13 stripes, but a new star was added for each state that joined the Union. The word alternate, as used in the passage, means substitute, rotate, exchange, or swap, or
That's
rotate, because it's not substituting stripes, it's rotating red and white stripes.
where's oh, I see. Composed of 15 alternating.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I would know that one.
Oh, we got
'Cause
the pygmy question again. Migratory.
oh, there we go. Okay.
Ooh, compassionate. most nearly means unwieldy, concern, modern, or restrictive. Uh,
Mm.
does
I
Amuro know what compassion is?
he might choose restrictive.
Only if he's talking about Sayla.
Or no, or in his state. Like, I almost feel like this is before the white base incident,
Oh, okay.
and I
Yeah.
feel like he didn't really show compassion as much at that point, because maybe it was too restrictive to his studies.
That's
But
honestly,
just but that would be almost uh, that would be
like,
like answering in a meta way.
I'm trying to, like, imagine so Amuro, when he's sitting at the computer at his little microscope and Fraubo runs in and is like, "Amuro, you haven't eaten your sandwich," and he's just like, whatever."
Yep.
Yeah, like,
He
I see
knows
where
that
you're
she's
going with
being
this.
concerned, and he doesn't care. That's restrictive to him. But not that he would really answer that way,
No, I think Ultronus has it right here. He knows what compassion is, he's just obtuse.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
exactly it.
Okay. How long does it take to the Earth to make one revolution around the sun? Well, obviously a
Oh.
day.
So, I almost feel like, on the colonies, they would be learning all that anyway. They would probably have to
Yeah.
memorize sides
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah.
In the following right triangle, what is the length
Oh,
of side AB? Here we go. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. At least I think that's the answer, right? 3 times
let's see.
3, 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 is 21. No? Wait, no, not. Yeah, 9 plus 16 would be. I'm way off base here.
I don't do you know what it is?
Do I know what it is? I don't know. Okay, so it's 16 plus 9, which puts us at 25, and then 5 divided by 5. Yeah, it's 5.
Did
I
you
was like,
enjoy any of that?
"No, that's miserable." I know that he would know the answer, and he'd be
That's
like,
right. No, you're
"Yeah,
right.
can you
That's
believe
true.
this 40-year-old can't figure out something that a 15-year-old colonist can?"
No, you're right.
We got this question before. This
Oh,
is the
yeah.
one about the Indus Valley people.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good math question for him. If donuts are usually 75%, they're 75 cents each, but there's a sale advertising them as 1 dozen plus a half dozen for 10.80. What is the new cost for just one donut? So
Dude,
we're
I would
talking about
just hand him my
12
debit
plus
card.
6, so 18. So it's 18 divided by this one 1080.
Hmm.
What is the math on that? 1080
18.
divided by 18. 60 cents. Do we think he would get that? It's a math question, I
Yeah, I
feel
just
like.
think the math stuff, yeah. I think when people know math, they know math.
Yeah.
Oh,
Electric current can travel only through a circuit.
oh.
This is confusing though because like, oh,
Yeah,
you think like wire, right? But
that was my
electric
thought.
current doesn't pass through a battery. It
Mhm.
doesn't pass through a load. It can
Right.
only pass through a wire or a circuit, but the circuit is the correct answer.
Okay.
Um, if you don't have a circuit, you don't have current flowing because it stops. So like
Okay.
I'm not going to illustrate this. This is dumb.
No, but that he would know, and you would
He would
too.
know this.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, trick question.
whoa, did they do another one? What is the oldest known civilization of India? The
Yeah,
Indus Valley people.
there you go.
Wow. Oops, did we mess this up?
Okay.
All right. At Michael's smoothie shop, smoothies cost 3.50 during the week and $4 on the weekends. If Jonathan bought a smoothie every day except Saturday, how much did he spend on smoothies that week? So it's 3.50 times 5 plus $4. So 350 times 5, so
21.50,
$15
and
plus
I used a calculator.
250. Oh, you're just gonna calculate it? Because you know he'd get this one.
Yeah, and I wanted to help you. I feel bad that, like, you're doing all this math, and I'm really just like, "I don't give a fuck."
I don't know about this. Um, so 15 plus 4 is gonna be 19, and then 250, so 2150.
Yep.
This one, here we go. The area of the right triangle. He knew that one. That one's easy.
Yeah.
Mark was more conscientious than his friend. Painstaking,
Hmm.
popular, friendly, or handsome. Do we think that Amuro knows what conscientious means?
I don't know, but even I don't know what I would pick here. Even though I
So painstaking, popular, friendly, or handsome. Ooh.
this week on Are You Smarter Than a 15-Year-Old New Type?
That's a good one.
That was Alan Mitchell.
That was a good one, Alan. Oh, and obviously typo to the chat bot here. This is perfectly framed, and you put your finger on something very Amuro specific. The objectively
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, yeah, painstaking seemed the closest, but I still would never have thought of using it that way. But I guess it just
Yeah,
means, like,
that's
how you're
yeah.
thinking? I don't know.
Ooh, okay, so here's the key. Amuro doesn't know the value of this kind of question. He sees it as vague, socially framed, not actionable. Still, he understands that it's a game, so his answer would be painstaking. But what does a 15-year-old Amuro think? He lands on painstaking.
Hmm,
Then does he care? Answer is no, but he still answers correctly.
that's funny.
That's funny.
That's
Okay.
good, yeah. Okay.
So we've
Oh,
we've officially confirmed that ChatGPT can pass the ASVAB.
yeah. You would think so. I mean, they're training them right now, right?
I would hope so. All right, so the perimeter of this rectangle is 6 plus 18, so 24. He would definitely get this. Like, he knows what a perimeter is. It's not.
Yeah.
Which of the following terms can be used to describe a bird? Invertebrate, omnivore, vertebrate, warm-blooded, crustacean, endoskeleton, or endoskeleton, uh, cold-blooded?
Um, is it A?
I think A is the right answer. Is it a vertebrate? Ooh, that's a good question. What do you guys think? Is a bird a vertebrate?
Yeah, I feel like I would know that and would want to know that, yet I don't.
Yeah. What about a biology question for Amuro? So it's vertebrate, omnivore, or invertebrate.
One thing you can do, and this could be lazy, is just screenshot and then give it to ChatGPT.
Oh, that's probably the way to go. Yeah, let's do that.
I've done that one too many times.
All right, let's see here. Screenshot. It's
Oh, yeah,
better
the
than me
chat's
typing
saying
out all the answers.
vertebrate warm-blooded, so
Ah,
let's see.
yeah, I thought I remember my speech from Jurassic Park where Alan Grant's talking about the vertebrae. See how the
Uh,
raptor's tail wraps around just like a bird. The vertebrae divided in Okay, so what does he answer? Oh, basic classification. No social nuance, no earth only weirdness. I'm glad that it appreciates Amuro's quirkiness.
Yeah.
So even without formal taxonomy, he would have gotten it. There we go.
Cool. All right.
All right, electronics, a circuit with 20 amps and a load of 12 ohms. What is the voltage? This I don't even know, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I don't know either. I'd ask you.
And I would probably, fudge an
Ask
answer.
ChatGPT and then tell me.
Exactly
I'd be
right.
like, "Thank you."
So let's see here. I'm just gonna say this is an easy one for him. Mostly because ohms is resistance. So 12 ohms would be so if we've got 20 amps flowing and 12 ohms of resistance, what it's actually doing is it's reducing the 20 amps of current by a particular amount.
Mm,
So that's and there's a saying in electronics where it's like it's not the voltage that kills you, it's the current. Um
mm.
Using Ohm's law,
Ohm's
yeah.
law. Okay.
So current is I, 20 amps, resistance is 12 ohms. So voltage equals 20 amps times 12. Okay. So it's C, 240.
And it's funny, these are
Interesting.
just, like, made up things. It's like, "Here's this energy, I'm just gonna give it a name and say it's a 12," and then, like, this is probably I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I sometimes see these measurements and things, it's like, it's all just made up.
But you're not wrong. Like, these are things that they are they are physical principles that exist in reality, and they do have real life consequences. But the specific words that we assign to them and the numbers that we treat them as, like we could have a totally different system of measurement that we assign to it and still arrive at the same conclusion, if
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, that stuff is so
Um,
fascinating to me.
so if an engine with a conventional ignition runs rough, what might you address on the breaker points as shown in part B of this diagram? So part B is where the starter, like where there's a spark between the starter and the
The
ignition switch.
ignition? Yeah.
So this one I think is definitely something that he would get. For me, when I answered this one, I said the gap, which I'm not sure is 100% correct, but that is what was wrong with uh that was what was wrong with the starter on my riding mower. So
Mm.
I was able to like bend it closer so that it started even though it was so
Oh, that's neat.
all that is to say, in my experience, that's what I but I don't know if that's the right answer.
Okay. That's neat, though.
So, again, I think that this is one that he would get, but I don't know the right answer off the top of my head. Go away with your free offer. Look at that.
You had that
Experience
real world
wins
experience.
again. The gap.
Dude, between
He
your
would get the
LEDs and
gap.
your lawnmower, you could build a mech.
And it would run for approximately 5 minutes before I encounter a bird, which I don't know is a vertebrate animal.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, pushing a heavy concrete block up an inclined plane will be easier if you raise the angle of the plane, turn the block upside down, heat the block with an electric coil, or put it on a wheelbarrow. Come
On
on,
a
guys.
wheelbarrow, yeah,
That's yeah.
okay.
I
Oh,
feel like he would know that.
yeah,
Oh, hey, this was the one cycle per
yep,
second.
that's
Easy.
right.
The
Oh,
square
wow,
root of 64, he would know this, is 8.
okay.
right? 8 times 8 is 64.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they did it again. Okay.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna have to guess.
Yeah, like, there's no way to reload this image
Or
without,
ask Chat
like,
see what ChatGPT has to say. Say like, "Hey, look, we don't really have all the information here, but based on the answers, does it seem like there's a possible answer?"
yeah, either that or I'm gonna inspect. I'm gonna use the, developer tools here.
Oh, that's funny.
So the image source, let's copy that, maybe paste it in here, see if we can load this image. What? So it doesn't, oh, it doesn't even have the image somewhere that we can look at it.
Mm.
That's crazy. The XML file doesn't appear to have any style association with it. Shoot.
How can they
Okay.
recruit anyone if they can't
Well,
can't
this is this is why the National Guard sucks so bad.
Wow.
Okay, so you know what? This is actually gonna be a fun one. All right. Oh no. I need to upgrade because I can't use attachments again. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch over to Grok here. Because this might be like this is like the Kobayashi Maru
Oh,
from
yeah,
Star
Star
Trek,
Trek.
right?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a trick.
Mhm.
Um, I'm taking an ASVAB. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna copy my initial prompt because I feel like that was very thorough.
Yeah.
Um, uh, this question has a failed image load prompt as seen in the screenshot. So this will be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So I'm taking an ASVAB test as Amuro Ray from Mobile Suit Gundam. The question has a failed image load prompt as seen in the screenshot. Given that Amuro lives in space, what's the correct answer? And what would be the answer a 15-year-old columnist would give? Let's see what happens.
Yep, curious.
Does he Kobayashi Maru it and hack the...
Huh.
Okay, here we go. The diagram, though not visible here, shows water flowing from left to right, entering a 3-inch pipe, implying that this is a narrower section compared to the wider pipe on the left, is a typical ASVAB mechanical comprehension question during fluid dynamic principles. This is a classic application of the continuity equation for incompressible fluids like water combined with Bernoulli's principle, assuming that no major height change or friction losses, which is standard for these types of questions. So I remember getting a question similar to this, and it was like 2 cylinders, right? And it was like, if cylinder A compresses, what happens to the water in cylinder B? And it's like, well, obviously it expands because cylinder A presses the water that way.
Oh, okay.
So the correct answer is A, the pressure decreases, but its speed increases. But for the second part of your question, Amuro Ray, a skilled new type pilot who intuitively grasps the physics under extreme conditions, including in space, would instantly recognize this is the Venturi effect slash Bernoulli behavior in fluid flow. So he'd pick A without hesitation.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool how it was able to find the answer.
Dang. So that's it's fascinating to me because as a character moment, can you imagine Amuro Ray is sitting at a test and like Kai is sitting a couple desks down from him and he's just like, "What the hell, Amuro? There's no image on here." And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Well, don't you know, Kai?"
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one, actually. That's a cool little
Okay,
storyline.
this is a question I got earlier as well. Geologists in Rome have a new venture. Underneath the city's streets, architecture lies a system of quarries and tunnels. It's believed that these passages were formed during the early days of the ancient city. The main concern of the geologists is that the city may sink into below ground areas. These professionals hope that their studies will prevent that occurrence. What is the best title for this passage? So, it's like if you're not really paying attention to the paragraph comprehension, you might say Rome's ancient tunnels or mapping Rome's tunnels or geologists use tunnels. But if you were to title your study, you want to make it relevant to people. You want
Mhm.
to make it like attention grabbing, right? So like it's not about that the tunnels were in Rome. It's about that they're studying the Roman tunnels for the specific purpose of preventing cities from collapsing later. And so that's where that's going to be your headline that's going to scare
Yeah.
people.
No, that's
And
really
I
good
think that
how to put
Amuro
it
would
down.
know that.
Yeah, I
I
think so
mean,
too.
correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Like, does Amuro know what fear mongering is?
Yeah. And he would see the what the value is underneath, like, "Oh, Rome, geologists in Rome." He would be really looking at the technical.
Yeah. Which is the correct sequence in a four-cycle internal combustion engine? Phew, I don't know this one,
I don't either.
but Amro
But,
would.
um, intake, compression, power, exhaust?
That sounds that sounds most it's definitely not D. It's definitely not B. It's
No.
either A or C, right? Alright, let's see. And honestly, it's like, man, we are we are burning down forests for
Yeah,
these
right?
answers. The ASVAB, specifically for Amuro. Um, as Amuro Ray, new type ace with sharp technical intuition, he knows that it's C.
Cool.
So, hey, good shout out. You knew it
Yeah.
was yeah. All right, this last
Okay.
question. Camille, well, what are the
Oh,
odds of that?
yeah, I know.
Camille uses a 20% off coupon when buying a sweater that costs $47.99. Perfect for a guy with a girl's name. If he also pays 6% sales tax on the purchase, how much does he pay?
I asked the
I'm kidding,
cashier to
said she.
figure that out.
You asked the cashier to figure it out. Well, so 20% off of 47.99. This one's easy because it's you just move the decimal point over, and it's $4.07 is your 10%. So 20% is going to be $8, $9.40.
Okay.
So 940 off of 47.99.
I think it's
Uh
38.39.
well, that would put it at 38.39, but then the 6% sales tax on top is going to be 6% on top of the
Oh,
38.
once that's right, I was adding more taken off. Okay, yeah.
So 6% would be
Well, and I could
I'm thinking it's 40.69.
let's see.
So 5% would be $2. Am I right? Is it
I'm trying to math it.
math it? 38, 39 times 1.06. 40.69.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay.
see where Almaro scored. He's an
Oh,
absolute monster.
that makes
Your
sense.
strengths: science, electronics, auto, shop. He is he's an
Getting a
absolute
phone
noob
call
type.
from the Federation or from Anaheim. "Hey, would you like to be a test pilot?" That's probably
Exactly.
what would happen, though. Think if the title of this was Anaheim Electronics, not Federation, but Anaheim Electronics,
It's a good point. So your scientific approach gives you strong understanding of how things work. Whatever you learn, you apply in dynamic ways. You have the skills. Now take on your legacy as an engineer, medical, or munitions.
And it could really depend on the questions you get.
Yeah, because if you get like all language questions, like that might be.
Hmm,
But honestly, is this kind of what we expected? Did we expect
yeah.
Amuro to ace the ASVAB?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
yeah.
And an
Yeah, it's been
engineer
and
fits.
I think it's same with Camille, I think it would be same with judo. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
judo might be
not
the only
judo.
outlier,
Yeah,
but
I think
and
so.
he
He has
would
a lot
only
of that
fail
street
in, like,
smarts.
probably, like, the language comprehension ones.
Yeah.
So, we definitely have to do this. We're at time, so we're not gonna be able to do any more tonight, but I really wanna do this with, like, maybe some of the AU pilots, maybe like a Setsuna or a Hiroyui, because I would be curious
Yeah.
where they fall in these types of questions.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
someone, very interesting that could have a interesting answer. Yeah.
Yeah, or like Garrett Ran.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause he's
Ye
not, like, any kind of engineering genius, but maybe he arrives at the answer at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So, definitely, guys, if you are in the chat or if you're watching this later, drop who you wanna see. Which Gundam pilot do you wanna see take the ASVAB next? Amuro aced it, let's face it, Trey's Kushernada, Char, they
Yeah.
probably ace it too.
Yep.
Let us know which Gundam characters you guys wanna see take the ASVAB, and we're gonna do this same exercise. We'll use ChatGPT where we can to kind of, like, account for character nuance, but,
Mhm.
I think that this is a fun exercise for sure.
It is, yeah. That's cool.
Well, thank you guys so much for indulging. This was a fun little, experiment to do tonight. If you haven't, again, go check out Adam's video on the Amuro Ray GMG figure.
Yep.
I really hope that we get a Camille and, like, some
I
Zeta
know.
era figures from
Oh,
that
that would be
line.
great.
That's the only way I could justify spending that much on on an action
Yeah,
figure, but
I know.
they are very cool figures. And, yeah, stay tuned. I will have a video here dropping soon, not to sound cryptic or anything, but in the meantime, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yep.
Dan, shout out because thank you for inspiring this
Yeah,
video with
good idea.
with the, joke about 19 years old, love interest, and low ASVAB. That is how you make a character for a D&D campaign. Have a great week, guys. We will catch you tomorrow on the Gundam Explained show.
Yep, see y'all.
Cheers.